If you ask most people to name a luxury watch brand that is internationally recognized as a status symbol, the brand Rolex will quickly roll off the tongue. From Hollywood's most elite to regular people looking to make their first big luxury purchase, we all just can't seem to get enough of this luxury timepiece brand. But other than its exquisite craftsmanship, its use of the finest materials, and its 2 to 4 year waitlist, what is the real reason Rolex watches are so expensive? Before we find out, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on videos like this. Rolex is one of the most iconic luxury brands in the world, with a stellar reputation for producing some of the finest quality timepieces one could ever own. For many years, Rolex has been associated with excellence, precision, and style, and has steadily evolved to be a symbol of prestige, success, and exclusivity. Its strategic and iconic partnership with Hollywood's elite have also catapulted the luxury brand into the international icon it is today. James Cameron, director of the multi-billion-dollar hit Titanic and Avatar, is known to wear Rolex daily, even when filming his iconic blockbusters. He endearingly calls it his one constant companion. While working on Titanic, Cameron took 12 submersible dives to the famed shipwreck 2.5 miles down in the North Atlantic with his trusty Rolex Submariner on his wrist. The Submariner was also found snug on his wrist while he directed the long-awaited 2022 blockbuster hit sequel, Avatar: The Way of the Water. The movie heavily features underwater scenes and is seen in exclusive behind-the-scenes footage. Cameron is seen directing in the water along with actress Kate Winslet, who famously held her breath underwater for over 7 minutes during its filming. Back in 1962, in a notoriously famous intersection between Hollywood and politics, actress Marilyn Monroe serenaded then U.S. President JFK with "Happy Birthday, Mr. President." But she didn't stop there. The steamy performance was followed by an 18-karat gold Rolex day-date watch as his birthday gift, with the inscription on the back writing, "Jack, with love as always, from Marilyn." Even Sean Connery, who played the big screen's first James Bond, has had iconic ties with Rolex since he starred as Agent 007 in 1962. In the spy film, he wore a stainless steel Submariner Ref 6538 that quickly became a symbol of sophistication and suave around the world. You may associate Bond with custom-fitted tuxedos and martinis that are shaken, not stirred. But who could forget the watches on his wrist that reliably told him that it was go time? If we look at what Rolex considers as individual, unique models, the brand has a total of 14. Of those, 8 are defined as professional models and 6 are classified as classic watches. Familiar examples of the professional models include the Yachtmaster, the Submariner, the Sea Dweller, and the Explorer. The classic watches include the Oyster Perpetual, the Datejust, and the Day-Date. Arguably the most iconic watch from Rolex, the Rolex Datejust collection, is the most versatile from the brand, and pricing varies anywhere between $7,000 and $15,000. The Rolex Submariner, on the other hand, ranges from $9,000 to $38,000. The cheapest Rolex for women is the Oyster Perpetual Reference 276200 that costs $5,300. For men, the Oyster Perpetual Reference 126000 sits at $5,800. The prices of different Rolex models vary greatly, even within the same model, and factors that affect their pricing include watch sizes, dials, materials used, and its intended performance. Limited edition models will also cost significantly more due to their rarity and exclusive design features. The most expensive Rolex ever sold to date is Hollywood legend Paul Newman's Rolex Daytona. In October 2017, it was sold in a Phillips auction, fetching an astonishing $17.8 million, smashing all records in the horological space and setting the highest price ever paid for a wristwatch at auction. The Rolex Reference 6239 Paul Newman Cosmograph Daytona features an exotic off-white dial with 3 subdials in contrasting colors, giving it its distinctive look. It is powered by the manual Wind chronograph caliber 722 movement and still runs accurately despite being over 50 years old. This record-breaking timepiece proves that there is no limit to what people will pay for the luxury brand. We already know that Rolex watches have industry-leading craftsmanship and are made of the finest high-quality materials and are backed by the world's elite to boot. But to truly get to the bottom of why Rolex watches are so expensive, we have to first understand that at its core, Rolex is a tool watch that initially set out making a name for itself based on its functionality and reliability. They have been worn to some of the most remote places on Earth, into wild and challenging terrains, down into the depths of the blue ocean, and up onto the harsh mountain peaks. Rolex watches were made as the ultimate partner in crime for the wildest adventures. They have been built with the intended purpose of resisting the harshest conditions over long periods of time without ever diminishing or compromising their integrity or performance. Guaranteeing the reliability of a Rolex watch also requires the application of a multitude of skills and expertise. Engineers, technicians, movement constructors, prototype makers, statisticians, and horologists all work together to develop optimal solutions for each Rolex model, according to its intended use. Interestingly, despite its touted luxury aspect, Rolex actually sits on the lower end of the scale of high-end luxury watches, especially when it's compared to dress watch competitors like Richard Mille and Patek Philippe. But because of its ubiquitous recognition and rising popularity over the years, the general public perceives Rolex as the symbol of luxury for watches, even though this is not the case in elite circles with a more refined eye. Rolex, at the crux of it all, owes its success to its global recognition by the general public as the mainstream luxury watch brand, where the brand's perceived luxury actually exceeds the actual luxury it provides. And what helped fuel this perception of luxury and exclusivity is not its commitment to quality craftsmanship or the use of the finest materials on the market. No, these are the minimum standards that any luxury watch brand on the market already holds. Rolex's exclusivity, and therefore its sky-high prices, is actually driven by the unintentional scarcity of its products. Rolex has admitted that its current production simply cannot meet the existing demand for its products. But the luxury watch brand stands firm in its refusal to reduce the quality of their products just so market demands can be met. This, in turn, sends a clear message to the brand's loyal fans. Rolex watches will never compromise the quality of its watches, even if it means lower sales for the company. An advertisement for Rolex long ago claimed that it takes about a year to make a single Rolex watch. Hand assembly by Rolex watchmakers reportedly takes close to 4 hours on average for each timepiece, making it one of the highest labor costs of any company in the world. The brand is also known to never reveal the exact number of watches they make a year, though most industry experts estimate up to only 1 million watches leave their factories each year. Because supply is so limited, demand for Rolex watches always significantly exceeds its production, so consumers would have to resort to the secondary market to try to get their hands on a Rolex. This drives resale values up, especially in the vintage watch market. But the problem here is that restoration comes hand in hand with the vintage watch game, and it can be difficult to distinguish between an original part and a restored one. There is also a prevailing stigma against restoration in these circles because vintage watch buyers want to have all the original parts of these high-value watches. In the resale market, sellers may often lie or misrepresent the watch being sold. Sellers could simply list the vintage watch as a 1965 Daytona, but perhaps only one part of the watch, like its dial, is from 1965. This is why original vintage watches with all their original parts cost so much, and why vintage watch buyers are willing to pay top dollar for them. And even then, the most educated buyers may be unknowingly overpaying for a Rolex that may only be partly original. Between the ever-constant supply-demand mismatching resulting in a 2 to 4 year waitlist on average and a thriving pre-owned market, Rolex prices continue to soar higher even today. And with the current economic market, inflation will only push Rolex watch prices to rise further. Even with Rolex's recent price increases, consumers only seem more incentivized to own this elusive timepiece. A McKinsey report from late 2022 has estimated the current total value of pre-owned luxury watch market to be $20 billion and is expected to top $29 billion by 2025. It seems then that the Rolex mania does not show any signs of slowing. In fact, Rolex watches has outperformed traditional investment options like gold, real estate, and stocks over the past 10 years. And sellers believe their future value will only continue to deliver. With many buyers considering Rolex as a real asset class next to gold, real estate, and stocks, its long-term investment potential itself is enough to keep buyers coming back for more. It seems like the perfect storm continues to brew for the Rolex brand. Its record-breaking demands consistently outweigh its supply. Its vintage watch market only grows more stringent on its restoration standards with each passing day. And along with all that, wrapped up in a pretty bow is its mass brand appeal. These factors have all played their own vital roles in contributing to the high price tags of Rolex watches. And so with every Rolex watch that leaves its factory gates stamped with its emblematic crown, the luxury brand is further cemented in the public eye as the king of luxury watches. So what do you think? Will the value of Rolex watches stand the test of time? And if you could get your hands on one, which Rolex would you invest in? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.